I always believed in helping my children, but I also believed in teaching them responsibility. So when my son James asked me for $100,000 to invest in a business opportunity, I had to say no. It wasn't the first time he'd come to me for money, and every time I gave in, I never saw a return. Just excuses. This time, I told him I couldn't do it. I explained calmly that I didn't want to keep funding his risky ventures. He left upset, barely saying goodbye, and his wife, Emily, gave me a cold look on the way out. She'd always been polite before, but that day she didn't even thank me for the coffee I made. 2 days later, everything changed. Emily came to visit on her own. She said she wanted to clear the air and brought over a cup of coffee as a peace offering. It was odd, but I accepted it to be polite. As we sat in the living room, she started talking about how James was under a lot of pressure, how the business idea was solid, and how I was being too hard on him. About 10 minutes in, I started feeling strange, dizzy, lightheaded. My heart began to race, and I broke into a cold sweat. I barely made it to the phone to call 911. At the hospital, they told me someone had slipped something into my drink, likely a sedative mixed with other substances. It was meant to impair me, maybe make me sign something or worse. When I told them about the coffee Emily brought, their expressions changed immediately. The police got involved. Turns out, Emily and James had forged a plan to manipulate me. The 100K wasn't for a business, it was to cover a gambling debt James had racked up. And the plan was, if I wouldn't give the money willingly, they'd try to get it another way. Emily brought the drugged coffee, hoping to convince me while I was too out of it to resist. They underestimated how quickly I'd react and get help. The evidence was clear. Surveillance footage at their house showed them talking about the plan. Emily was arrested, and James is under investigation too. My heart breaks, knowing my own son could be involved in something so cruel. I've since updated my will, locked down my finances, and cut off all financial support. It hurts, but I now realize that sometimes the people you love most are the ones who can hurt you the worst.